So fellow gardeners, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about the Pilea plant. Now why I want to talk about this plant, because I just see it as one of the best plants for beginners. Now the reason why I say that it is one of the best plants is, first of all, it's easy to manage. It's so low maintenance. And third thing is that you can propagate it, and you can propagate so many babies out of one plant. And so this Pilea, they call it the Chinese money plant. Basically, it's the leaf, the circular leaf, or circular shape of the leaf that gives you a coin look. The other name for it is the pancake plant. Again, the leaf looking like a pancake. They even have the UFO plant because it's a circular and looks like a UFO. But the one I really love is the friendship plant. Now, again, let me go back there. A friendship plant is because in the end, if you do look at your lovely Chinese money plant, is you have so much propagation of little offsets happening at the base of the plant, and once you do propagate, you'll end up with multitudes which you can share with your friends. So my name is Alice and I'm this red soil gardener. So let's talk about this plant. Once again, let's talk about this plant. Now, the thing is as we talk about this plant, it is a tropical plant. It does grow in the rainforest, and the location is China, and on the hills of the Himalayas, that's where you get your Chinese money plant. Now, the thing about it is that should actually tell you exactly what the sort of soil, water, and light requirement it needs. So now, once we know about the Himalaya forest, so we look at the light requirement, but basically it being in this sort of rainforest situation, it does like a bright, indirect sun. Now, the problem again is that if you do keep it near your window, the leaves may get scorched. So when you do have it as an indoor plant, do move it slightly away from the window, but still receiving the bright, indirect light. Now, the second thing, what sort of soil requirement? Well-draining soil. I would put a bit of bark inside. I would even a bit of an orchid mix, but have your soil, if perlite would help with aeration, or pumice, and just make sure that when you do water it, is that first of all you have your drainage holes at the bottom, and give it 2 really good soaks. And then once it is, you've given it the good soak, then you leave it like that and allow it to dry for the next watering. These plants don't like water around the roots, and they will get root rot or some sort of bacterial disease. So basically is a well-draining soil that drains right through. Do your finger test, 1 inch, 2 inches dry, then you give it another drink. So now the other thing about the light requirement with this plant is that you could actually move it too far in your home or indoors into an area where it doesn't receive its bright indirect sun. Now what happens is it'll get lanky, it'll grow really tall, and the internodes, which is the area between one internode and another, it gets very lengthy. And what happens is, as it gets lengthy, it gets very lanky, and it could actually decide 2 ways to fall over, which you could actually stake up, which is just simply getting, this is a wooden chopstick, and just put it here and tie it so that you don't have your 8 inches or 12 inches Chinese money plant tipping. The other thing you can do is it should actually give you an indication that you're too far out of the the indirect, bright indirect sun. So just move it a bit closer to, but not in a situation where it will get scorched. Now, the other thing with this Chinese money plant is that if you do keep it near the window and let's say extreme heat, extreme light, is you will find that the leaves do curl upwards. Now, that's an indication that your plant is trying to protect itself from losing too much moisture. So if you do have a situation where the climate wherever you are is really warm, I would suggest watering it a bit more frequently so that in the end, as the plant is losing moisture, it still retains a lot of moisture in the soil. Again, now with the Chinese money plant, or now we can switch and say our friendship plant, is that what happens is, again, rainforest loves humidity. Now, again, is like what I always say with these lovely tropical plants is that if you need to create your humidity and you don't have a humidifier, it's a simple thing as getting a tray like this and placing your pebbles in there, and then just put all your lovely plants there. And it will create, the evaporation will create humidity for the plant. Or in another situation is you could actually place your friendship plant in the bathroom where it gets all the steam from the shower. Or you group your plants together and let the transpiration from the neighboring plant help with the humidity. As I go back, because this is a propagation video, as I go back and talk about my plant here, I was actually so amazed when I discovered that this little baby does produce its little offsets at the base of the mother plant. So now as we look at the mother plant, we do see, look, here's another baby. We have a baby here. We have babies popping out of here. And as I turn it around, more babies coming out of here. Now I'll explain why. So let's take this one. I've been using this one for propagation purposes, but look at all these babies at the base. Now this is what I am actually collecting and putting it in this plastic recycled with holes at the bottom so that I can actually have enough babies to actually give it away to my friends. So I am going to simply show you what to do. To start with, to understand this money plant, is what I did is I actually took this one out in order to show you what's happening underneath the soil. Now, what happens with this money plant, it grows from a rhizome. Now, this is the rhizome here, as you see. And we know that rhizomes either move horizontally, and basically from the rhizome is where you get those offsets. So if you take a closer look here from the rhizome, you will see a formation of a baby here, another formation from the rhizome, many babies, offsets happening around here. So basically all these little offsets is what will develop into these babies. So once you understand that, and I will put it back in here, once you do understand that you have a rhizome, that's why you actually have so many babies happening at the base of the mother stem. Now, if you want to do a propagation, let's use this one. Now, I did see a nice little baby somewhere, which we can actually propagate. So here is one of my babies. I'll just move the leaf and then I'll show you. Just here. This one here is actually another baby which is developed. Get yourself a knife and actually cut the baby close to the mother stem, just like that, and try to get it with a rooting. So this baby was attached to the mother here, that is part of the stem, and it's got strong enough, I'll just rinse it. Oh, it's a big one. It's got strong enough to have really good rooting. So that is how we propagate this Chinese money plant. Now the thing about these little offsets is initially, as your plant is sort of settling down and you've got your rhizomes and you can see your babies forming, is that it's always better to do your propagation in spring and summer during the growing season, because they do go slightly, during winter is the actual process, they do go into some sort of dormancy, they don't require very much water, and they're not actively growing. So the best time to actually do your propagation is spring and summer. But during this period, as these little babies are attached to the mother, is basically the mother is feeding it, it's giving it its food, its energy, everything, until it can get to a size where you can actually take it off the mother and it becomes a little independent being. So this is the right time when the growing season, the roots are forming, it's the right time to do a propagation. So what I'm going to do is, it still has a bit of the mother stem on it, is I'm just going to make my hole here and place it in here. And we know that as soon as we do a propagation, is we put it in indirect sun, keep the soil moist, and as it starts rooting, you can try to tug it, and if tugging doesn't really, if the plant doesn't jump out, it just shows that the root structure is actually getting all nice and ready. Now what happens is, I'll just move this one here, that one there, is what I love doing with plants is I get these recycled plastic, and what I love doing is I use them as my basins, and sometimes instead of trying to water the plant from the top, all I do is just have my water there and place my plant there. Then you don't have to worry about it for a while, because through osmosis the water will travel up and keep the soil moist. Now the last thing I'd like to show you with this technique again is you could take your plastic Ziploc if you want the propagation to root quickly. Just take it and take your plant, place it in there, just like that. And I'll just place it here. Keep it like that for at least a week or so. And what you do every few days, you open it out, let the steam out. But this can assist in helping boost that propagation and the rooting, and it's like creating a greenhouse effect. But try not to get the leaves touching the plastic, because it can actually scorch it. But just leaving it like that actually can help you. So that is one of the propagations you can actually do with this plant. Another way of propagating this plant is actually taking your scissors and actually just looking at it. I could actually just snip it here. What I will do also here, to do a leaf propagation, try to get a bit of the mother to get a water propagation done. Simply like that, a bit of the mother attached to the leaf, and this is what we'll do a water propagation with. Just simply go to the mother and remove. And as we go along, I'll show you what I'll do. There we go. Okay, so I have my babies here attached to the mother, and that will help it root. And then what I'll do with these ones is just simply remove all these leaves like that. Because we know from the leaf a node is where you'll get your rooting. And what we'll do is, again, is just leave a few leaves up there. And I'll take my potting soil, make a hole, place our root in the stem in there, and that should be able to propagate. Here, dear, is, I may even just remove some of these. Because what happens is these lovely leaves, what happens with them is sometimes they overcrowd the babies. So it's good to remove the babies if you get too much overcrowding of the leaves. Just simply cut it, propagate it, and you'll get many more, and there's an abundance of babies. So these are the pups that I actually did propagate. They're doing quite well at the moment. We've seen that you can actually do a water propagation, but at the same time, I will actually, I think I'm going to plant this here so I don't lose it. And we've seen a stem propagation where you simply cut the stem, as in this one, and then just put it in soil. And so out of my plants, I've managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 babies out of one plant. So that's why we call it a friendship plant. So I will distribute it to my friends, as I have plenty. So fellow gardeners, thank you so much for joining me on this channel, and thank you all the new subscribers. Welcome back, welcome aboard, and all my old subscribers, thank you so much for your encouragement and your support over the year. And for those who are watching, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification, share and like with your friends, your family. And don't forget, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and we do post a lot. And do leave me your comments on my YouTube comment section or my Instagram. And if you do have a problem with your plant, I'm always there to help. And we have sorted out a few people with their plants, so it always is a pleasure for me. And don't forget, we upload every Thursday. And so have a lovely, lovely day and happy gardening, and do get yourself one of these friendship plants. Bye.